That's not literally true, new players. That's not part of the game. It's just that Bacon usually passed so well, and just a little bit of trouble there. That person at that pad just ran into them awkwardly, missed it, and then Kaylee will get you for it. He doesn't shoot for pathing, but he does shoot for that.
Yeah. That was rough, because Bacon was playing that very well.
So that's 2 games in a row, though, where Bacon's playing a really solid game and making great progress. He's got like 2 missions done, plenty of options, and then just some kind of big mistake at the end costs him the game. It's all it takes, though. You can play 4 brilliant minutes on a map like this, and then you make one little mistake, and it's all over. Oh, boy.
That was such a pretty bug! That was so good!
But
he does get highlight for it. It was a suspicious stop and go, but yeah. That kind of bug, like, it was beautiful,
it's over.
But there was this little stop he did. Right when he goes to the bookcase at 354, and then immediately picks back up again to go to the ambassador. He didn't see the bug. I guarantee you Bacon did not see the bug, but he saw that stop and go, and that was enough.
Right. And at that point, you can, at the high levels, you can't always shoot for the bug. You can shoot for the could have bugged. And you have to know that they could have bugged. And as you could see at the end there, broken animation too confirms it. And you're not always going to catch a broken animation, especially in a library, but you are if you're already super suspicious of someone.
Yeah. And I know Kaylee is like instinct for him to go for these super early bugs, but I actually don't think they're a good idea on this map just because of how often you're going to get a really good bug opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point. I often say that you can get away with bug on this map if you're patient. If you take your time, sidle up next to the Amba, and just sort of wait for the laser to slide around a little bit, you can get an in-conversation bug, and you're usually not going to get caught. But that setup and that waiting for the laser to move, it can take a while. There's a cost to setting it up perfectly, but you can get it if you need to. Usually.
Bacon steps away with green books here, in towards one of the busts, probably looking for another bit of microfilm business. There it is. Hits the green again. Very nice.
Kaylee does swing around near the end, but I don't think he could have seen it, at least not with any confidence.
Interesting that Bacon likes these hard-tell transfers against Kaylee.
Yeah, very interesting. I think he's just thinking, there's just so much there, and he's not, again, Kaylee, not one of those big etiquette guys. He's not one of those guys who's going to nail you, for the subtle animations, exactly. Not going to nail you for putting the book back at the wrong time, for example. And you can really only camp so many things. Hard to camp books effectively on this map.
Yeah. All right, fairly close green flirt, gives him 50%. Nice start.
Yeah, Bacon.
Side statues for his first set of inspects.
This is shockingly similar to both of his games so far. I think it was side statues in both of them. Certainly it's one of them. An early half microfilm, an early flirt. I think green every time too. This is very similar. I think Bacon's thinking, boy, I just need to not make a mistake with like 2 minutes left, and maybe I'll actually get a win here.
Only difference is here, he doesn't have that early fingerprint.
Right, yeah, fewer options there. Really would love to get one soon, but he's doing the same thing where, hey, there you go.
Pretty good bounce against the Amba there. Avoided the right click as well.
Gets the fingerprint. Perfect, just like you were saying.
And now he's got a book to get his microfilm away in. Again, look at the clock. We've got 1 minute and 30 seconds and no mission completions, but look how much progress he has.
Did he miss that pad? Did he miss the pad again?
I
think he wanted to microfilm back there.
He was trying to tuck himself in behind the people in that conversation and went just a little bit too far.
Look, if I find out after this match that Bacon's W key is sticky, I would not be surprised.
Agreed.
Good path. Look at that. Just right in tight. Very good. Good sense of where he can move. It's funny to see the bad pathing next to the good there, and the seduce is done, just like that. But only a minute left.
2 flirt on the seduce. We might need to hit a time ad somewhere here.
But look at these. Well, there's a time ad window right next to him, but 3 missions. 3 missions most of the way done.
Indeed. And we can inspect swap at the end.
Oh,
Here's the
swung over.
microfilm. It's white. The head turn, the shot. Bad timing for Bacon there as Kaylee swings over at the wrong moment.
It's not especially skill-based. You know, at that point, you just have to hope they don't swing over right when it happens, or you hit the green maybe and save yourself the head tilt. In this case, I think the green works and the white doesn't, and that's the difference. But he was going to have a tough road anyway, because even if he inspects and fingerprints, still got to do something else, and there's 30 seconds left, so he's in big trouble probably regardless.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't go just a pixel too far and miss the pad behind that conversation, he's in a much better position.
Right. Yeah. He probably gets away with the microfilm. You know, obviously, if he greens it there, he's probably fine. But even a white there is probably relatively safe relative to what he ended up doing. And he would have saved another 20 seconds, you know, from having to walk back. And then he's in a totally different situation. Then he's done with 2 missions, almost done with 2 others, and maybe he's got 45 seconds left.
Indeed.
And, you know, inspect swap for the win? Who knows?
Well, back into the breach once more. Hopefully, Kaylee won't get shot for an early bug this time.
Another early bug would be the triumph of hope over experience.
And Kaylee's like, nope, I am checking my watch. This is not a bug.
Yep.
This is not what bugs look like, Bacon.
Watch me not bug.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, does
Oh!
Quick leave on the book, in case you're wondering. I'm not going to say always, because you never want to say always in SpyParty, but that's, if the sniper catches you doing that here, you're in big trouble. That makes you very suspicious, just basically leaving the second the book is in hand.
But Kaylee playing against the sniper position here. He knew Bacon couldn't see it happen when he started moving.
BB's right before the DA leaves. That's very fortunate, actually, if he doesn't see it.
So Kaylee is away with the, oh god. It's fine. Laser wasn't over. Couldn't see it. It's fine. Couldn't see it. Highlight because Bacon doesn't know where that book came from. I think, anyways.
Yeah, that'll happen sometimes. Sometimes you'll highlight them just because you don't know. And it makes sense he doesn't know where the book came from, because he bailed with it real quick.
First set of bouncing for Crazy Kaylee was really good there as he sidles all the way along to the other end of the library.
Yeah, it's important to remember when someone says something about an elite level player, you know, like, oh, they don't really care that much about pathing, that's a relative term. Kaylee might be a camper and he might not be a big micro guy or a big pathing expert. That doesn't mean he's bad at it. He's still better than most spies at that stuff.
He can still collide and hit a really AI-like bounce just out of instinct.
Right. Those statements are about what he prioritizes or what he's best at, but at this level, there basically aren't any blatant holes in people's games.
2 minutes left to play. Kaylee a little bit behind the curve as far as the clock goes here.
Yeah, not bad. He's certainly in a decent shape. 2 minutes left, 2 missions done. And again, you can inspect swap late, and he loves the inspect swap just in general, but especially on library. So he might be planning it. And the fun thing about that is, though, when you plan to do that, as aggressive as it is, ooh, bug chance. When you plan to do the inspect swap late, when you know you can rush 2 missions late.
Oh, no.
There it is.
Didn't hit the timing on it.
Same thing as before. But when you plan to, sometimes it'll look like someone's, you know, running behind. It might just mean that they've already made up their mind to do 2 missions at once at the end as a big risk. So they know they have time, right? So they know they can space out what the other missions a little better, a little less conspicuously.
All right. So winning out as sniper so far.
The bug wars are over. Onto a new map. You know, it's funny. We said that it's pretty easy to get away with bug on that map, and it can be, but what was that, 4 games decided by bug on library? That's unusual.
Yeah, that's very unusual, yeah. Although this does tend to happen a lot with Crazy Kaylee because he's a terrifying sniper, but his spy game is a little bit weaker than some other players, so quite often games with him involved will really be a battle of sniper wins.
Yeah, I don't think any of those games even got into mission countdown.
They didn't.
So some early
Bacon
statue
starting
visitors.
things off on the spy side of Courtyard. Kaylee on the sniper. Bacon with a really slow start
Wow.
here.
Look at the, and perfect timing for a slow start. 4 early statue visitors. I say this every time, Tobo, don't I? The ripple effect of early statue visitors on Courtyard.
Yeah.
Because now you have to watch those people the whole game, and if they don't get knocked out or something by a bad BB, that's going to really hurt him potentially in the end game. Someone like Bacon, who likes to maybe frame or play a little slow, this plays right into his play style.
It might not be as bad for Crazy Kaylee because of the way he plays it, but he's got Bacon's got the flirt done. He's got the BB done.
I was gonna say only one highlight was out during conversation, and he didn't even see them clearly enough to confidently give a low light. So basically, a perfect BB in function, at least, not necessarily in timing. But the net result is, I don't know if I saw any. There's no low lights, right?
Wow, that's incredible.
On Courtyard, and that's with 4 early highlights. You really got to knock them out. Bacon, even though he's only got a mission and a half done, you could say he's actually in really good shape.
Yeah. And he's got the flirt finished up now. He's got a minute and 30 left. This is the standard dilemma for Courtyard. Where's the hardtail coming from?
Right, so
it's
there's
not going to be fingerprint at this point.
Right. Number one priority is where's the hardtail going to come from. The other thing is, when do I go to statues if I go to risk that highlight? Those are the 2 decisions he has. It's got to be one of them next because he hasn't gone to inspect either. Tough call.
Bling Twin is a fairly slim character, not one of the slimmest, but still not amazing for inspect swaps.
Really good path from General. Shows you that Kaylee doesn't like the low light for pathing if he can help it, because he did not give him a low light even then.
1 minute to play. Bacon really taking his time on this. And yeah, low lighting for pathing just sort of almost defeats Kaylee's whole sniper strategy, because the way Kaylee plays this is, I will
White
catch
swap.
you on a hardtail. There's the white swap. Kaylee swings around, sees the statue.
How confident is he?
There it is. He's that confident.
Did not see the fade. Important to note. Did not see the fade.
Did not see the fade. I don't know if there was anyone else recently at that statue, though.
Yes, there was. In fact, it was one of the early highlights. Teal.
Okay.
So basically what Bacon's trying to do there is he's trying to fake a green swap. He's trying to swap, hoping that Kaylee doesn't actually see the fade, so he doesn't know if it's green or white, so he can frame Teal for a shot. I think it's actually a pretty darn good move, and Kaylee does not see the fade, but he just decides, and I will say that is kind of a Bacon move, is faking the green swap, and I think maybe he shot because he knows that.
Very well could have been.
I don't think that was I don't see how that could have been a 100% shot from Kaylee.
I don't think it was.
I think he literally just had to decide which is more likely, that he greened it and walked away and went to statues at the beginning of the game, remember, too. Yeah. Or that he would fake the green to frame someone, and he correctly surmises that it's more likely Bacon would frame someone because that's, well, just something he does a little more often than a lot of other elite spies.
Yeah, and spies on this map, this is the kind of thing you pick up on when you've been around the game for so long. How many times do you see a spy go to statues more than once? Almost never.
Yeah, that's another great point. Teal went early and then went again to swap. Definitely possible, but not great. Kaylee basically could not have been sure about that. He likes to take 100% certain shots on hardtails, but absent that, he will make a judgment call, and that was, I think, a judgment call about which thing Bacon was more likely to have done.
Kaylee on an early green time ad picks up a highlight for it.
I think that's probably it, yeah. Although he did rotate away, and it's possible that if he saw the end...
Yes!
It failed.
No! What?
And that one took...
Okay, we fixed it. We got there.
Bacon was on the polar opposite side of the map. The timing with the rotation was perfect.
Yeah. You see that? Like, he was just barely too far off, so he waited until Bacon rotates, and then just twitches in just a little bit to get that extra pixel closer so the swap can come off.
Yes, he twitched a little bit closer, and the timing was perfect. It's hard to time it because there's some laser latency, but you can make a guess, and in this case, it was dead on. So here's the question. He's not shot for inspect, but there's been no BB. So it's possible that Bacon saw the end of that bug animation, but he isn't positive, and he'll shoot for a BB. That's the real test, is this BB.
Here's the big thing, though. He got a fingerprint off of that statue. Contact comes off, no shot.
I'm a little surprised, though, with the time ad, even though it's 0 flirt, and the fact that he had a fingerprint, that he didn't decide to say, hey, let's play without the BB, man. especially
Yeah.
if Bacon's waiting for it. Looks like he's not waiting for it though. If he'd seen the bug or thought he'd seen the bug, shot probably would have come off already.
Here's the thing, though. He can just sit in this conversation and wait all damn day for Amba to go touch something.
Yep, pretty much anything. Go touch something, Amba. It's going to be a drink. What's he going to do? No, wow!
There it is! On the
Bacon.
second fingerprint.
There it is. Bacon clearly, I mean, based on the timing there, clearly tracking fingerprint and or thought he saw the bug.
Yeah. One of those.
Well, I think he credited it early on. He credited a bug when Bacon was rotating around and Kaylee took a path near Amba, didn't actually go for the bug, and so he had credited him the bug early on, so he had to credit it with 4 missions.
Right. Yes. I think that's absolutely right. Like I said earlier, you at a high level, you can't just shoot for I saw the bug or I think I saw the bug. You have to shoot for could have bugged sometimes. Great shot. That's actually an exceptional shot. I don't sound very excited because there's not much more to say, but that's a really exceptional shot, I think, from Bacon.
It was.
Yeah, so there was a top at the beginning of the game where he highlit wheels when he came around because it looked like he might have just been walking away from the Amba, who I think was at statues at the time. Might have credited for a bug even then, even though none was attempted.
Yeah. All right, Bacon starting things off with the green test flirt at the window, nice and snugly for 51%. This is not something Kaylee is going to track, so you will get away with it every single time.
Yeah, he doesn't even make a secret of it. He basically says you can flirt against me with impunity in the early to mid game. Now, that said, any decent player, if you are rushing flirt and leaving and coming back a lot late to finish, a lot of them will get you for that, even if they don't care about flirt.
Look at this, already 95% on the flirt, has the contact done. Just 2 lowlights, I think.
Yeah, most of the time when you have 95% in the flirt, you're furious, but when you get it this early, I think you feel okay.
Yeah. 2 minutes to play. Bacon is certainly on curve as far as time goes.
One thing I like about casting Bacon spy matches is it gives me a lot of downtime to think about the broader strategic implications of things because he'll just do this. He'll just stay in a conversation. I was going to say sometimes some people do that to flirt timer. He's not even doing that. He's getting the heck out of there.
Kaylee just highlights for statues. Oh, green swap. Oh, green swap.
Green swap and inspect. So he's going to go. He knows with 95% flirt, any flirt will finish. So he wants to inspect, swap, flirt while the swap is pending. And maybe do something else.
And now it's all about Kaylee watching this swap.
There's the flirt. And he's still in view of the statue he swapped, remember. He didn't run away to the other side.
Yep.
Here comes Boots. It's a highlight, too. Let's see if he sees the fade.
Kaylee in there. Perfect view. Sees the fade. He saw it. He had a beautiful view on the fade.
He's trying to remember.
He does.
Okay, so I think that was close. That was an unusually long delay. I think that was it her? Was it her? I think it was her. Hard to be sure right away.
I think it may have been Kaylee trying to remember who was there before.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean. Yeah, is it her? Not meaning is it Boots? Meaning was she the one there? Yeah, exactly. Normally you don't need to rush that shot exactly, but you don't have that much time. I think he was just trying to make absolutely sure was it her there before. So what's interesting is maybe staying nearby was a mistake because he shot with a few seconds left. Honestly, just dancing on the other side of the map might have been enough. So, but you can make an argument either way. Make an argument either way, right? Because it's kind of like sipping after you do a white purloin. It's if I'd swapped, would I really stay?
Oh, Kaylee insta swap gets highlight for it, but doesn't take a bullet. This is going to be a hard game for Kaylee, I think.
Well, okay, so the BB is another test, and still hasn't shot for that, but the swap was so quick, he might be confident he didn't inspect. So, if you're Bacon, even if you suspect it, you might not have reason to shoot yet. Again, if you're confident there was no inspect.
All right, well, Kaylee, 2 missions done, including a swap, 51%. On the seduce, but I don't think he can afford to go back to statues. Going back to statues might just be death then and there.
It absolutely might be. Remember, so a top player, especially if they know they're being watched and casted by a couple hundred people, they're not going to shoot unless they know they have to. It really doesn't make sense. Sometimes in a casual game, you'll shoot to be cool, bug attempt, shot, over.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll shoot to be cool or shoot to have fun or just get into the next game. But in that case, you know they're not done. You might as well wait until they do a couple other things and shoot them at the first moment they could conceivably be done.
Yeah. Not a terrible reverse drive-by bug attempt, but Bacon was not moving. He was looking at that pretty close, stationary camera.
It's also a reasonable decision because he has to suspect that he might be a top suspect for the possible swap. So he really wants to avoid going back to statues if he can help it, which means he's got to find a mission somewhere else.
Agreed.
So decent choice there. I think at that point, just the early swap, not enough.
Olmart's saying these games are insane. Yeah, that's what happens when Bacon plays Kaylee. You get crazy sets.
Yeah, it's clashing play styles and really just two elite players in general. You know, that's enough sometimes. And people asking in chat, the difference between green and white. Green changes pretty much immediately to the new statue model. White fades more noticeably. And yes, at high levels, even at intermediate levels, you can absolutely tell the difference. And even try to expect it after a while, because with the green swap, unlike the Purloin, an AI is drawn to the statue sooner rather than later. So if you see someone drawn to a statue that someone else was just at, if you're good, you'll be on high alert for green already. You'll look for it. You'll see the instant snap into the new animation, and then you just have to shoot whoever was there before.
Bacon with a very slow start here, setting up for a contact. Pretty strong contact, too. I think, is everybody in conversation? I think literally everybody was in conversation.
I think Orange Sorry had... No, that was it. I was thinking...
White Purloin. Alert, alert, alert! Yep, there it is.
Yep. Kaylee wonders whether or not he should wait to shoot, and then decides, nah. And boy, that's what all these games have been like, right? Where Bacon does such a good job of setting up everything else, but then something like the hardtail or the pad throws it away, because he'd actually played pretty much flawlessly up until that point. Maybe could have gotten an early flirt in, but like you said, perfect banana bread.
Yeah. That is the kind of thing that you cannot get away with on Kaylee on this map. He's just got such a good angle to see the list, he's going to catch that every single time.
Yeah, so in case it's not obvious to newer players, Purloin the guest list in this case, you can see the sniper has a very high viewing angle. They're looking down on the party. That makes it easy to see whether or not the guest list is there, which makes it much easier to track her.
Early flirt for Crazy Kaylee, up to 51%. The classic start.
Yep. If you're on veranda or ballroom in particular, the sniper is closer to ground level, and it can be very hard, even when you're zoomed in and looking specifically for the guest list, to tell whether or not it's there. Makes it a much more viable mission on other maps than this one. On the other hand, because it's so conspicuous, sometimes people think, well, they wouldn't Purloin, right? And again, down the Yomi rabbit hole.
How often do pros fake BB? Very, very rarely.
Yes, very common among new players, very rare among top players. There are definitely plenty of exceptions, and I will say that the kind of newer generation of SpyParty players, the guys who are like in silver and gold, and to a lesser extent platinum right now, working their way up, they do it more, because they are a little more concerned with individual opponent playstyles. So they will bet on it a little bit more because they actually know highlighting and low-lighting strategies. And there are people from that generation of players who will low-light anyone who would have just been faking. You know, they won't low-light someone for being out of conversation. They'll low-light someone for being out of conversation with a suspected double agent, assuming that they wouldn't do it.
Look how slow the start is from Kaylee.
Misclick. We're good.
I don't think that was a misclick. I think he's generally taking this so slow and being so inconspicuous.
Well, then he changed his mind right after,
He's gotten 82% on the flirt, he's gotten one fingerprint, and he has 1:15 left to play. Kaylee is playing this incredibly slowly, and he's going to rush it at the end, I think.
I think that's true. He loves Inspect Swap, we said, and he loves it here on Courtyard, too. But, you know, if a fingerprint opportunity presents itself, which it has not, he'll probably take it.
There's the contact coming off. Kaylee might have to go to the statue now. No, he's just going back to the flirt first.
No, he wants to do this, and he wants to Inspect Swap. I think he would have loved a fingerprint, but it's just not lining up, and I think that's just going to be... I don't think he can do it now.
I think you're right. 35 seconds, got the flirt done. I think it's going to have to be the Inspect Swap. There's no other option.
Yeah, this pretty standard Kaylee move. Oh, does he want to be near this briefcase for when she leaves? I think he was going to make her... I think the plan was to go invade her space and make her leave so he can take the briefcase.
Oh, wow.
But she left anyway. So it actually worked out...
But what's the last... Are we going to bug?
Either that or a purloin.
No! It's gone!
Doesn't have
Too
time.
late!
Doesn't have time. He's got a time ad. There's nothing else.
He does.
It's a white. Another person was at Windows, though. Boots was at Windows, but Bacon's on it.
Nope. Bacon is on it.
So pretty good. I was literally talking. I was hearing Kaylee talk about this just the other day, actually, and a couple other players were saying that if fingerprint isn't happening, go get in the Amba's face because the Amba has a personal space meter for newer players, and if anyone stands too close to the Amba, not just the spy but anyone, for more than a few seconds, they will leave. They don't like it. They don't like it at all. And when they leave, they go do something else. And when they go do something else, there's a chance they will touch something new, and you can create more fingerprints for yourself. In this case, the Amba had put down the briefcase, so going and standing next to her would force her to leave, which means it is now permissible to pick up the briefcase because she's walked away from it.
What happens if Kaylee hits a green time ad there? That could have been really good.
Yeah, maybe. I think Boots was at Windows too, but I think Bacon was on it at that point. I think the game was over when the Amba left, and just by waiting as long as he did to try to force that last fingerprint.
I think you're right. I'm surprised he didn't go for an inspect swap there. Kaylee loves those.
I think the thing is, we know Kaylee loves those, and Bacon definitely knows it too.
Kaylee loves those.
Right. So I kind of like the subversion there. I think the decision is fine. I think he just waited too long to do it. Maybe a little hemming and hawing about going against his normal choices, his normal tendencies. Sometimes you think about it for 15 extra seconds because it's not something you would normally do. And in this case, those 15 seconds were crucial.
Indeed. All right. What is the plan now?
I don't know. It looks like they're going to pick a new map. I think it is about time.
Yeah. I'm hoping Modern, personally. Come on. Oh, no. They're not going to win. I want to see Spy win. Modern's probably the best case we have for Spy win. It's not going to happen on 10 guest high rise.
Probably not. Not with these guys.
They've got to be changing away from this, though. Any 4 of 7 10 guest high rise is murder.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a thing. We'll see where they wind up.
Yeah.
Oh, it is Modern! All right. New map, big map, busy bar. Kaylee, I think, more or less ignores Purloin in favor of tracking fingerprints on this map.
Right, so it's a reasonable thing. Even if you track Purloin very closely, you're just not going to be able to be confident. I think at most you want to try to use Purloin to narrow the party down, but even that's pretty tough. And so what are you going to do with that extra attention, right? Well, in this case, Kaylee's going to put it into something that's not technically a hard tell, but it's the closest of the soft tells. It's something you can at least count and track potentially, so I think it makes a lot of sense. That microphone completely invisible.
There's the head turn.
Yeah.
Doesn't see it.
He was not even zoomed in. It was technically visible, but Kaylee would have had to have been looking exactly there, exactly then. Map, you just can't count on it. Again, Bacon loving these hard action test microfilms early in games.
Yeah, I think they're easier to get by Kaylee than the hard book transfer. I think that's where most of his cycles go into tracking.
I think that makes sense. And just microfilm in general easier on he's been doing it on.
Yeah.
So if Purloin is free, there's really no reason at some point not to delegate.
Bacon, blue film in pocket, has a delegate on the back burner, picking up his first set of inspects here.
Standard highlight from Kaylee.
Indeed.
Now what's he going to do? The problem with Modern, it's not that you're forced into certain choices, it's that in the first half of the game you have way too many choices.
There's the delegate.
Pretty much instantly.
He had to. He spent, because he hit the statues in between.
Yeah. Let's see if it goes off. Hopefully he still has time. There's a timer there. Obviously, you can't. Yep, it happens. Obviously there is a timer for new players. The delegate, you can't just wait 3 or 4 minutes and do it at the end of the game. That keeps you honest. In this case, I cut it pretty close, I think.
There's the transfer.
Yeah, not
and
caught.
I think this is going to be the spy wing because Kaylee doesn't track Purloin, but he does track microfilm, and Bacon has just pulled off a microfilm from under Kaylee's nose. So now, if he gets one more inspect, Kaylee will be suspicious. But if he can flirt, if he can DA, then he still needs something else.
I know, and he doesn't have much time left. This is going to be a problem in a minute. Normally, this would be a pretty good spot to maybe timer flirt in, but he doesn't have the time. Unless he wants to inspect swap. Unless he wants to inspect swap at the end, and even that's pretty suspicious. So yeah, as expected, he's not going to do it. Maybe with 2 minutes.
He's going for the contact now. If he can get the contact and then an inspect and then the flirt, that'll be enough.
Technically, no more hardtails then, but here's the thing. That's a lot of movement and late action from a highlight, and the party is actually not moving around very much. It's actually being pretty accommodating. So I think even though Kaylee is waiting for those hardtails, in this case, I think if he BBs here, he does not. I was going to say, even if he does, though, if he goes and flirts and then runs the statues.
Well, he has BB'd.
I'm sorry, my mistake. Yeah, sorry. My mistake, yeah. I think this is so much late action that he could absolutely get shot for it with the second vision. Yeah. I'm trying to figure, could anyone else be done with inspects?
I don't know. I haven't been watching. Bacon, though, he's in a very good spot here. I think he might win this game.
If he's not shot yet, that's an excellent position to be in. He just needs to get one more flirt in. Let's see if she accommodates. Oh, this path, though, it's not something Kaylee will normally shoot for.
It's the big chase.
That's a heck of a chase. I don't know. I don't think he can shoot for it.
I don't think Kaylee's going to shoot. I think Bacon got it done.
Yep.
It's going to be overtime.
Yep. Overtime. He doesn't know how to shoot.
He doesn't know.
Nope.
Doesn't know. Bacon finds one.
Yep, there it is. So here's the thing.
Oh, Jesus. I just looked at the stream. What is happening right now, Slappy?
Slappy's using those from last year. Some of them pretty good. You got to bust out the sick flirt cam for that one, at least. Come on. It's not my favorite, though. My favorite is the sick, innocent drink take. He has animations for an innocent drink take, even.
There's a new one for that because of the Zuckerberg testimony.
Oh, no. I can't wait.
So,
we're in the next game, but I do want to briefly talk about that previous game while Kaylee's starting this one, at least. So the upside against someone like Kaylee who's going to camp those hardtails really hard is if you get the hardtails by him, he's very unlikely to nab you for the other stuff. Oh, there's a bug, and I'm pretty sure it's totally clean. Oh, adjustment, though, at the statue pad.
We're fine.
So here's the thing. There are other snipers, by the way, who Bacon could have been playing who maybe don't win as much as Kaylee and aren't as likely to catch hardtails, but they might have shot him for that late flirt because they're more in tune with that kind of stuff.
I think we're fine.
It was at the far end. Bacon was pretty much exclusively on the left end of the map, but not enough to get a good angle on it, so probably okay.
All right, so we've got our bug, which is big. We've got our inspects. White time ad, bad time ad.
Now, Salmon checks his watch 2 seconds later, but those are the only two people at Windows.
All right,
Highlight for it.
Yeah, Salmon's highlight.
And that means he knows the time ad, and the question is, how sure is he?
Yeah.
You don't know. It's entirely possible he's thinking, you know what, that time ad could have happened 10 seconds earlier, and I have no idea who. Oh, and I guess he's made up his mind. He lowlights him there.
Okay. Well,
so here's the next question. Does that mean he doesn't know who did it, or does that mean he's already got Kaylee highlight for something else, and he's just waiting?
Totally test flirt! Kaylee, no!
That's rough. There it is. Sick, innocent drink take cam. There it is. Now, so when you say innocent drink tank with Zuckerberg's testimony, you're sort of making a political statement, you realize. You're taking sides. Just saying. Was it innocent? You be the judge.
I think that specific drink take, the drink itself was innocent.
It was certainly trying to appear innocent. I'll say that much.
But even if you're super guilty.
Yeah.
And you take an innocent drink.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
And Bacon nails him. I think did he leave the conversation too early? Maybe.
I don't know. Might
So
have
the
been.
so the timing's weird. So I have no problem believing that he was just waiting on Kaylee to do anything because again, we think he might have narrowed down the time ad there. But when you look at the timing here, it looks like he's shooting him for just leaving a little early, maybe in the idle cycle there. It looked okay. It looked okay to me.
Yeah.
But, I am not Bacon. Well,
Man, oh man.
So, let's see where's the animation break here? She's got her hands in front of her. She's swaying a little bit. I don't know. I'm looking at the replay. I don't see an animation break personally.
Yeah, me neither.
All right,
he
might have paused up on the next one, yeah.
Okay, yeah, whenever you're ready. Count us down, Tobo. I'm at 3:59. Whenever you want.
3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, I looked at the replay there, and if he left too early, okay, so there's left too early. Definitely not a resting pose. Her hands were in front of her, and she was not swaying anymore. Now, I grant you, it looked like the very beginning of the pose. I think he was very suspicious, and that was enough, and maybe he thought he left just a fraction of a second earlier. I don't know.
All right. Single inspect, which is fine. The only issue with the single inspect means it'll possibly delay an inspect swap by a little bit.
Right, that's about it. At that point, one inspect is almost as good as two.
Indeed. 34% on the first flirt as well for Bacon, but he does have that highlight from the early statue visit. It's not a big highlight, just bookkeeping mostly, but it's still a highlight.
And Bacon playing a pretty similar game. He doesn't have his early microfilming, but he's, again, just giving himself options, make some steady progress on Softails because he knows they're basically free.
Yeah, Bacon is a very stable spy. He has his game plan, he's perfected his game plan, and he's very good at what he does.
Right, very methodical.
Yeah.
Banana bread.
1, 2 lowlights, 3 lowlights, 4.
Gonna get 5? I would say that's a little above average. That's not bad.
6.
Got the bug in the meantime, though. There was a cost.
Yeah. 6 lowlights, but the bug got by Kaylee, and that's not something you can say very often.
So here's the thing. 3 or 4 is perfectly fine on this map. 6 is not great, but he traded it A for a bug, and B, look at how many of the people who weren't out are highlights.
Yeah.
He did not really knock out more than, 1 or 2 highlights there. So
No way of knowing that, though, for Bacon.
True, right. So from our perspective, though, I think that was actually a pretty darn good trade. It was okay even with the highlights, and when you throw in the bug, deal.
85% on the flirt now. Minute and 30 left to play. 1 more flirt, 2 more inspects, and then something else. Too late to start fingerprinting, I think. Here we go into statue, so it's not going to be an inspect swap.
I like this, though. I like it. Whoa, boy. Well, I say I like it, but if he was willing to shoot for that, he must have been very suspicious. I wonder.
I think maybe he was suspecting the bug.
Yeah, I'm rethinking that a little bit. I'm taking a look here at the replay.
Where's that bug?
Oh, I don't know. He wasn't just on the far side of his screen.
Oh, yeah, there's...
Well, here's the thing. He was low-lighting people as it happened, but it was still visible.
Yeah, hard to say. Hard to say. Either way, we're into the next one. Crazy Kaylee on the spy, Canadian Bacon on the sniper. And I don't know, I think Slappy might have to leave soon.
Yeah, I might have to finish up anyway. I'm fine either way, but if someone else wants to take over and cast these tremendous games, I have no problem with it. They're a lot of fun to cast. These ones almost cast themselves. There's so much to talk about. I like the instant
Super
purloin.
early white purloin from Kaylee. Let's see what Bacon does of this. But there's so many people at the bar. There's no way. That was...
So here's the thing. He won't know, but if he notices it's gone, he'll know it's one of 5 or 6 people right away. I actually don't know if I like that choice.
Will he remember who they all are, though? Kaylee was the first one, and he got out of there in a jiffy.
Yeah, but all the rest of them
still
are still
hasn't
there.
seen it. He still hasn't seen it.
Right, so that's the only time it makes sense. Yeah, he's in trouble now. The only time it makes sense is if you think he's not even going to think to check for the first 30 seconds.
The thing is, with all those people lined up shoulder to shoulder at the bar, though, you have to sacrifice so much to check for the purloin.
Yeah. 1, 2 lowlights. Let's see what else we got. Not much. 3. And that one's cast, so that doesn't count.
All right. 3 lowlights. Pretty good for Kaylee. Now he knows that the purloin has gone somewhere, but I don't think he has any idea what happened. Kaylee tried a reverse drive-by and didn't get it. I think Bacon was focused in on the bar at the time, though, so it worked out.
I think Kaylee's in trouble. I really think that highlight means he's more or less onto him and has pretty well narrowed it down.
Well, we'll see. I think Kaylee's doing better than you think he is, but we'll find out.
Could be. God, this game will make fools of us all. It teaches you humility, play, and when you cast.
Big green flirt. That brings him back into 3 flirt territory.
Now, Kaylee's still got 2 minutes. That's plenty of time. 2.5 missions done.
What are the other missions going to be, though? I'm a little bit worried about hitting statues, especially twice this late.
Yeah, it's got to be bugger swap. I don't think he's going to microfilm. But again, I've been wrong before. The thing is, he has so many options right now. Too many. And I hope it's not, choice paralysis here, because there's a minute and a half left. He really has got to want to flirt, and I think he maybe just waiting for an opportunity.
I think that was supposed to be going for the flirt, but...
Yeah. Oh, I don't like that turn at the end.
Didn't stop.
That turn at the end seemed a little circuitous. It seemed a little inefficient. Yeah. And you're right. I agree. I think he wanted to flirt, and it's not lining up right now. And basically, about 45 seconds now have run off with nothing happening. He went from being in a pretty interesting position to suddenly having to hurry.
I don't think he's in range. I don't think even if he hits a green test, he might not be in range. It's the white. It's only 87.
I
1
think
minute
a green.
To go.
Yeah, I don't know if he would have or not, and he was in big trouble even before that.
Yeah. He might just have to wait it out and hope Bacon takes a bad shot, but I don't think that's Kaylee's style.
No, and you look at how many highlights he has. He's only got 3 total.
This is going to be such a hard game for Kaylee. How do we do this? Only 30 seconds. I think he's just got to wait. There's the flirt done.
So, I mean, he can't even inspect swap. Like, it's a time ad, that's it. At this point, for Kaylee, your only decision is, do I time out, not for this game, this game's lost. Do I time out to show him I'm willing to on future games?
Yeah.
That's about it. And I think at this point...
I don't think Kaylee knows this game's lost, though, if he times out. I think he's going to do it.
Well, we'll see. But I think timing out actually is his best bet, not to win this game, obviously, but to win some other future game. Yep.
And there we go.
I gotta say, though...
I feel like Kaylee had a strong start. He just... wasn't... The party wasn't helpful around him, and he just didn't move fast enough in the latter half.
Yeah, there was about 2:15 left on the clock, and he waited for almost a solid minute before really doing anything. And at that point, when he tried to do something, he had no margin left. So the first time he tried to flirt after that, and the ST left and went somewhere else, that pretty much ruined it. So he let a full minute go off the clock in a way that gave him no more room to have anything else go wrong.
Yeah.
Now, even if it doesn't, even if he gets that flirt early, he's still got 2 missions to do with no statue visits yet. And he's already got a highlight just for that early purloin, potentially. So he was still in pretty rough shape, I think. But that ST moving and waiting as long as he did, that just sealed it.
Bacon stepping in on the spy side. Crazy Kaylee on the sniper. Looks like going for an early flirt plus delegate. Green flirt, too, for 51, so that's a nice start. He'll be waiting here a while, though, if he wants that drink.
Bacon playing it pretty straightforward so far. Just an early bar visit, but he's been hitting those flirts in particular. He's hitting green tests on almost every flirt.
Yeah.
It's been really
very
amazing.
Impressive.
I think in like 4 of his first 5 games, he 2-flirted.
Man, that delegate and walk is something spies really love to do at this level.
Of course.
Fingerprintable book as well.
Imagine if you could destroy the murder weapon before you killed someone.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it's like to be able to delegate and not have a drink in your hand.
But also, I think it's as soon as people realize that it's being done so much, it'll become a lot more suspicious. Contact comes off, 1 low light.
And here's what I like about doing that. You delegate immediately afterward, so you are positive that the person you delegate to was in conversation when the BB went off.
Yeah.
Good move.
There's the purloin coming off as well.
I think he just saw it. Can he narrow it down? 1, 2, 3, 4.
5.
Pretty solid for a purloin.
6, 7,
Yeah.
8, 9.
I don't know. Ooh, some of these are probably not 100%, but that's okay. That's a reasonable thing to trade off. If that's if he's right, and we know he's
another BB! That's so bad.
And so here's the problem. Yep. And look at this. Who's left? One person.
Bacon, and there's that shot.
When you have eliminated every other suspect, whoever is left logically must be the spy. That is a simple deduction right there.
Wow. I don't think I have ever seen Kaylee win a game by just having the entire party low lit.
That almost never happens, and when it does, it sure as hell isn't on Modern or some other similarly large map.
Yeah.
So that's actually some bad luck for Bacon, because you'd think with all those lowlights, one of the upshots is that when you BB afterwards, at least a lot of the lowlights that he would have gotten are already low lit, so there's diminishing returns for that. In this case, it was basically 2 or 3 of the people remaining, all of them.
That was cool.
That was nice. That was nice. I don't think Bacon was going to win anyway, based on all the lowlights coming off the purloin, but really bad luck on the BB too.
That last contact was rough.
That was rough. You'd think there'd be a couple left and he'd be forced to at least narrow it down to 2, but no.
Yeah. All right.
So what I find interesting, though, is so it makes sense if you're positive of those lowlights, but he took a few lowlights he must not have been completely positive about, but he still decided, let's take this shot. Possibly also understanding how cool it is to lowlight everyone but the spy and go, well, that settles that.
Yeah. But also I think if you're Kaylee, like, if you've low-lit everybody but one character, it's either I'm going to take the shot or I am starting over from square one.
Right, because the nature of those lowlights was he couldn't go back and go, well, I guess I'll go back to new possible non-purloin people. You're not going to remember those 6 or 7 games.
All right. So, Crazy Kaylee starting. This is so ballsy! He just straight is reading a book out front and transfers right in the sniper's face.
And here's why he did it. Because there were 5 people at bar, and Bacon was zoomed in on the bar, because one of them, well, maybe not 5, but there were several, and one of them is the ambassador in a very vulnerable position. Oh, there it is.
Low lit for the bouncing!
So I mentioned earlier, Kaylee can bounce when he needs to. Yeah, certainly better than most spies at it, and we see an example of that here. Here's where Kaylee usually finishing his missions could pay off, because here Bacon could still shoot him as a low light. Absolutely, Bacon is totally capable of that. But he's in a great position. The biggest chance that he has to lose this game right now is to not finish missions.
Oh man, Crazy Kaylee, that was a play and a half right there.
Yeah, I don't think
it wasn't perfect, but no. I think it was the path through the conversation after the bounce that got him the low lit.
Here's one of the problems. Sometimes you do something and you're very aware of the fact that you might get low lit for it. So afterwards, you're more likely to be aggressive, try to finish your mission, whatever. I don't think there's any chance he knows he's low lit, or at least there's no way he's expecting.
Okay, so Jeeves in chat wants to know what bouncing is. Bouncing is when you collide head-on with another AI, they will do a very specific sort of redirect when they bump into each other. And sometimes they'll bounce against each other back and forth a few times, but it's a very AI-like thing to do. In that case, Kaylee hit him tried to bounce in the same way the AI did and wound up pathing through the conversation for it, which is something that very, very few spies will ever do.
Yep, absolutely.
The laser was on his face when he did that white transfer, and he's still low lit. Kaylee's in a great position right now. 1 minute to go, 2 missions. He's got a fingerprint under his belt. He doesn't have any on the flirt though, which is a little bit worrying. He's gonna try to rush this.
That's a real problem, and it's a real problem too because if he decides he has to add time, that's something a low light could get shot for. Swap, add time. The things he has to do now, maybe like swap or add time, are the kind of things that will get a low light shot.
I think he's just gonna chase the hell out of his seduction target though, and look at the ambassador. Ambassador's going to statue here. This is good.
Here's his chance. So he can rush 2 flirts. Here's the thing though, he's rushing flirt. Is he noticing all the way in the other that the ambassador, has just touched a statue?
We'll find out. Flirt we go.
Does he go to the statue?
Does he go to the statue?
Did he notice?
It looks like he is.
Good. If he does, it's good
there
party
it
sense. Really good job chasing.
It's gonna be overtime. Fingerprintable. There it is.
Real
Sets
quick.
It down.
Oh, he's rushing the hell out of this.
Seduction, where are you going? Seduction, where are you going?
Uh-oh, not entering the pad. Not entering the pad.
No!
No, doesn't happen.
No!
Oh, so look at the time. 0. Look at the log. 0.2 begin flirtation.
Oh no.
Oh no. So here's the funny thing. If he didn't think he was low lit, he might have figured it out because he was shamelessly running around that party. And when he wasn't shot for all that stuff, he might have thought, oh crap, I'm low lit. Please go into any pad.
Yeah. I think he had to swap. I think Slappy is right. He had to swap that. When the seduction target was walking, it's 15 seconds left to play as he picks up this.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think he had to swap it.
Yeah. That's I think so. I understand the decision. There's a decent chance that it's going to work out with the ST. And if he suspects he's low lit, then that's actually less conspicuous than anything else he might do. But I still think he gets away with it. Yeah.
All right. Final plugs before we take off. This game is SpyParty. You can find it on Steam by looking up SpyParty for $25 US, or you can go to the SpyParty website, which is spyparty.com, and buy it there. As of right now, if you buy it on the website, you will have access to the forums. If you buy it on Steam, you will have access to all the Steam integration and functionality and things like that. This is going to get sorted out sooner rather than later because we're going to get cross-integration happening. But for now, SpyParty, I would recommend getting it off the website just for the forums, but it doesn't necessarily have to stay that way. Hello, gentlemen. How are you? That was what a crazy set. I'm sad too. I'm real sad too.
I'm real sad.
Yeah, you should have won that game. But to be fair, I had a couple games where I was like so close and very mad.
Yeah, a lot of credit.
Great
set.
One spy win, yeah.
One spy win the whole set. That's amazing. Diamond sniping, ladies and gentlemen.
Diamond sniping. That bounce and then pathing through the conversation.
See, I was happy with the first part of that bounce, but then the rest of it was garbage. I thought, but then I got low lit apparently. So
I mean, I think it's because you went through the convo.
Yeah.
I thought if I was going to get low lit for anything, it was going to be for my sick briefcase redirect.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you were saying. I was saying I really don't think he's low light, and the danger of the low light you don't expect when you do something that you don't expect, especially think is going to get you a low light, is that you don't know you can just hurry up and finish your mission, and that's exactly it. And what ended up happening, even though it was so close.
Cletus says I should have swapped. I don't know. I thought I didn't know it was low lit for number one.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I was just kind of like, I need to do the missions. Like what I was gambling on is I would not be seen doing like the fingerprint and instant putback on the one statue.
Yeah.
And then I could just pick up a flirt, but he ST just wouldn't quite cooperate.
Yeah, so at the
geez.
end, now, given how shamelessly you were running all over the party late, did you start to suspect a low light maybe for not getting shot for it?
No, not really. I mean, it's a tough map because Modern is like you can easily miss like complete garbage on Modern, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Like
completely miss that people exist.
yeah, exactly. Like Modern is a map where you can do a spins in place, and there's a high chance you wouldn't be seen, right? Like it's a crazy map. There's a lot of I mean, you can see the whole map, but you will have a blind spot no matter where you're looking.
For those of you who don't know the voice already, this is Crazy Kaylee talking.
Hello, I'm Crazy Kaylee.
Yeah, that's right.
Of twitch.tv/Crazy Kaylee.
You Crazy Kaylee of twitch.tv/Crazy Kaylee?
And that's Bacon.
That's right. Like, comment, and subscribe to this stream, not to my stream. To this stream. Even though this is the official game stream, like, comment, and subscribe anyway. That's how good I am at social medias. I know. I thought that was a really good set. Bacon sniping out of his mind, obviously. Like the one where my mouth was most open was when I was Rocker, and it just got shot for like, it was a little too early on the empty convo leaf. I was like, how do you win against you?
It wasn't a little too early. It was way too.
Oh, I don't. Yeah. So we were looking at the replay there because our first thought was, based on the timing, it really looked like the shot must have been for an animation break or something. But when I looked, she stopped swaying and her hands were in front of her folded. So I thought it was maybe at the very, very, very beginning of the idle animation.
There was twice. I think there was twice when it was Rocker, so we might be talking about different things.
Okay, the Modern game closer to the end.
Was it the
early Purloin, Rush Purloin on Modern, about 4 games ago.
Let's find the replay and we will.
That's the one where I was Rocker, right?
Yeah, you were Rocker. Yeah, and you insta Purloin, no delegate.
So my goal there is to make Bacon think that someone other than me was the one who white tested it, and I was going to do that by blocking, and then there were going to be 8 million people at the other part of the bar, and then hopefully he thinks, it must have been that person, etc. But that just didn't work. I got highlight for something. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I really liked that play. That was good stuff.
I gotta say,
that's why I didn't leave the bar, because like you can't leave the bar right there, obviously, because the only thing blocking him from seeing that the list is gone.
I really can't think of a better game to end these great sets on too. A game where it's incredibly tense and nothing happens. Nothing, no bullets are fired, no shots taken, a clock just runs out, one person walking towards another trying to complete a mission. That's this game, that something like that nothing happening can be so tense. It's Hitchcock's bomb never going off.
And just like running desperately into that, hey, I really like your head. Oh,
yeah, sorry. That's a heck of a flirt move there. If you look at the log, it's 0.2 seconds, begin flirt.
Damn it. Yeah, actually that would have worked if I had gotten lucky with the action test placement, which is a thing that y'all should know about out there in SpyParty land. When you have just microseconds left, it matters where on the bar the white test zone is. Because if it's really early, you can finish the mission earlier. Whereas if it's not, then you can't. The only thing where it doesn't really matter is Purloin or Swap or Time Ad, things like that, because you can just red test it. Of course, you run the risk of whatever happens to you when you red test it, but you can finish the mission that way. Flirt, you can't finish with a red test. So.
Yeah.
All right, so I have viewed your leave, and I would say it was an exaggeration to say you left way too early, but you definitely left too early.
Well, subjectively for me, I was like, "Damn, just Bacon too good." Bacon down to the frame perfectly.
So a lot of people were very curious about that, because to a non-expert viewer, it's like, what on earth happened, right? Like, why could you possibly shot that person?
Did you have some suspicion that I was the one who did the Purloin?
That was the game where Purloin did not happen.
Oh, I thought that was the one where
This is the one where you crash bugged at the start of the statues, and I did highlight you. I didn't see that happen, but I'm like, okay, this guy's next to the ambassador statue. They could have bugged.
So what do you
Rocker both times?
Maybe.
Yeah. So you're saying the one where you shot for the animation break in conversation was the Rocker game where he didn't Purloin immediately.
I might have also shot him for breaking the conversation in the other one, but I definitely did in the one where he didn't Purloin.
Okay.
I don't remember that crazy, because God, that whole set was just nuts.
Yeah,
I like how we did library bug wars at the beginning. That was
fun. Yeah.
You guys made us look.
Amazing.
You made us look so silly. We spent a fair bit of time talking about how you can get away with bug on this map if you really want to, and then 4 out of 5 games shot for bug. We should have said you can get away with bug if you're careful about it.
I'm still mad about that first one. That first bug was so strong, and it just like bam. Not today, Kaylee. That bug's so good that I'm gonna stare right at it.
Yeah, and just immediately as soon as that game started, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna find the ambassador really quick. So you just see me just like whipping my camera around. I'm like, where's the ambassador? Where is he? And then he's bugging.
Yeah, I tried to compensate a little bit by doing other hardtails early on that map, but just no dice. No dice. Bacon too good.
Yep. Excellent games, guys. Absolutely excellent. Not as good as Steph, I have to say.
Steph was bonkers. Steph was I don't even like good luck keep placing players. Jesus.
I mean, we just cast a bunch of matches, and 2 of them were among 2 diamond players, and somehow those were not the best games we saw. How does that even happen? But you guys both played exceptionally well, except for the bugs, and everything else. Everything else was tremendous, though, and it was just tremendous fun to cast.
I mean, there were some good bugs there that still got shot by both of us.
Yeah. There were a lot of high quality bugs where just the shot happened. Like that first one by me was really a good bug, I think.
Oh, I agree.
And Bacon,
I said so as well.
Immediately. And Bacon had a bunch of good stuff. That was my best sniping. And Bacon Bacon won the set, like straight up. Like so, Diamond, it's hard.
Yeah,
Diamond is hard.
Also, Modern is hard.
Modern is really hard.
Guys, SpyParty is hard.
SpyParty is hard, but it's fun.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Easiest game I've ever played.
But it hurts me. But I love it, but it hurts me.
That sounds like an abusive relationship.
It is. I'm in an abuse. But that's another one of my hot box quotes for the back of SpyParty. I came up with another one the other day. I forget what it was, but yeah. I'm in an abusive relationship with SpyParty. I intend this as praise. Crazy Kaylee, 2018. There you go.
Yeah, well, so that exhausting thing you guys just went through, where you had to give all of yourself and still play a really close match, get ready to do that a few more times on the SpyParty Competitive League, starting in just a couple weeks, everybody. Kaylee, do you want to plug that?
Yes, if you want to head on down to the forums, you can sign up for the SpyParty Competitive League. We got all levels of experience in it. If you want to play in Challenger at the very bottom, you can totally do that. A lot of new folks signing up there. I will find and link the forum post.
If you are a new Steam player who bought the game, wait a few days. We're going to get integration.
Yes. If you're a Steam player who wants to play in the SpyParty Competitive League, I can arrange that.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
If you want to do that, private message me on here right now. Or if you're on the Discord, let me know in the Discord. And I will hook you up. You're not going to miss out on SpyParty Competitive League because you're a Steam player.
And don't be dissuaded by all that talk about how hard it was just now, because here's the thing. It's developed into tiers. You can play people of a similar skill level, and we'll help you, and it's the best way to get better anyway. So go for it if you're on the
right. So
it's fun.
It is super fun. I feel like as we're wrapping up, we should raid someone. Is this agreeable?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Has anyone from chat stepped up yet?
Oh, SM is streaming. Let's raid SM. SM's been active in the Discord. SM's cool, and let's.
Absolutely.
I'll post the.
Sounds good.
Guys, thank you so much.
All right, so I'm not gonna. We don't host on. Or I guess I can't host because I don't have account control. So this official channel is going to be going down, correct?
Yeah, but we'll probably get Checker to host it if he's still in chat. Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, thanks, GCat. There you go.
There you go. GCat, I tell you.
GCat.
Oh yeah, do we have an official one on that? Is it Jacket? Like a jacket?
I'm pretty sure it's Jet.
It's Jacket. All right, Jacket, everybody. He played earlier today. He's great.
Yes. All right. Thank you for hanging out. Go give SM some love. And we shall see you at this channel on the competitive league when that starts.